All right. This one, I'm not gonna put a time limit on.
This is the Tesla effect.
Same day.
Glorious sunlight. Great sunlight.
Evil exists. Like SpongeBob, Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy.
Evil! Evil! Evil!
So yeah, it's real. Yeah. It's a tricky force, particularly because the shadow is the most unmapped terrain in the inner domain of most people's lives. Um, and that gap in consciousness opens way for perils. I remember saying this before. I'm trying to say the exact same thing that otherwise could be mitigated. And it's because of actually, in my current assessment, the collective internal gap, right? It's the individual gap of, okay, what is my pain? How does my pain run through me? How do I soothe? How do I release? There's a whole toolkit. There's a whole toolkit, and that is going back to education of a particular kind. That's just not available currently. Uh, Not to the degree to which I aspire to offer it. I have a plan, phases and such. Actually, speaking of which, after this video, I will be hitting the whiteboard and it'll actually have words on it. So that'll be cool. Actually do some teacher stuff. Also, I may not post for a really, really long time after that. Specifically because part of my phase requires me to invest this energy elsewhere for a certain time. So I'm actually very, very, very happy. This is a happy time. Like, I'm a little bit tired. I just need to go drink water, and do some hump stretches for my lower body. Get that blood flowing. But I'm very happy. Very happy. It's a good time. I had a goal to complete a particular amount of videos before I did specific things in my life regarding music. And I'm right there. It's the Tesla effect and the next one that I got, which is gonna be something. So yeah, evil. It exists. People dance with it, consciously, unconsciously, blah blah blah. It works in certain ways. I do not intend to speak on all of those ways in one video, nor do I have the intent to go into details about the ways of evil. Specifically because evil would do a pretty bang up job of doing that themselves if you really wanted to get involved. Yeah, but this is about another kind of topic. So I am going to use my abilities to shed light on something without giving it too much light. See how good I can do that. I'm pretty sure saying evil conjures things, but it's only the attachment of energy that almost dropped my phone. It's only the attachment of energy that would be had towards the word that would invoke such things. So if my energies are truly in check, then the fact that no one else is around me should work out, because I know how to navigate labels. Evil. So yeah, even now more than ever, more evil's kind of just coming up to the surface, is bubbling about, and that's part of a whole thing having to do with how challenged evil is. It's all this light. Costs a lot of money to block out the sun, and if we stop paying the people who block out the sun, we'll have more energy to feed ourselves to stop paying the people who block out the sun. So, also flooding entire villages is also not cool. Not cool. The higher scale things. But yeah, to some degree we pay for that, right? Going back to resources, you can talk about monetarily, but the monetary would be indefinitely closed if we tackle what I'm claiming is the root,
which is resources like love, education, and you could add the list: shelter, clothing, resources. Not talking about money, right? Community support. There's a list. There's a long list. A whole bunch of humanitarian-minded people could come together and can make a long list. But we'd have to be in a certain mind frame to where coming together and making that list is actually useful, right? We'd have to be in a certain mind frame. And I feel like the circumstances are. Well, we're there, you know. We're definitely there. So it's a matter of certain geniuses, certain people who have a heart and have a mind to speak up. And honestly, this has to be this breaking of this fear thing. It's liberty or death. That should be we should, like, I feel like a natural fearful development that would greatly aid humanity is just people just being casually like, yeah, you know, you might get me, but we out here doing what we gotta do for mankind. Whoop. Casual. Real frequent. Real accessible mentally as an option to implement. Hold down the fort. Because evil is afoot. Evil. I just think the acknowledgement of evil is a great deterrent to evil. And one of, I guess, I'll say one of evil's ways potentially could be, I'll use Harry Potter as an example, right? Because you're not supposed to say Voldemort's name, right? Because if you say Voldemort's name, it becomes casual. And when a prevalent threat becomes casual conversation, it becomes a threat that's being handled as opposed to a threat that's being subverted, or a threat that's being subverted. I don't think subverted is the right word. A threat that's being ultimately ignored. It's just an ignored threat. Yeah, and an ignored threat is a threatening threat. Yeah, shouldn't ignore threats. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. One of evil's ways. So one of evil's ways is to set a standard of, okay, don't make this casual, and then make this casual. But yeah, if you start doing this, you're gonna catch the hammer. Why am I gonna catch the hammer? Well, because you can't make it casual. Because if you make it casual, it makes it harder to do evil. And it's like, alright, I'm about to start doing this casually. Bet, got you. That's all it takes. All it takes is a couple of people hooked up on some energetic Wi-Fi, because that's how nature intended it to be. We all linked up. You think a thought, even before we got here to where there's blatant spyware going on, you know, you'll think a thought and then it'll come up on the TV, or you know, you'll get a phone call from someone. You know, that's just straight, that's the field, you know, that's the field right there. You'll think about a song and then someone will make a song like it. Or you're thinking about an idea and then it'll drop in a company. You know, come on. I was before blatant spyware got so advanced. That's all nature, well connected to the grid. Nature's grid. Digital grid is a wannabe. Big wannabe. The digital grid is literally what's playing out on the micro right now. You got some people that's golden souls. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that they just got it. You got some people that they just sick with it. And you know, they give the game, but no matter how much they give the game to people who can't use the game, so they always gonna use the game to mess up the game. Pigeons. And that's from the perspective of one, but you know, from the other perspective, it's like, you know, you gotta get your gold bars whenever they drop. Like if someone drops a gold bar, why you not gonna pick it up? Like that's stupid. Are you stupid? Stupid. So that's my best interpretation of the other side. You know, you just pick up gold bars when they drop. You know what I'm saying? And when it's as simple as that, it's as simple as that. It ain't really a 2 + 2 kind of form. You know, it's not arithmetic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you know, the other side, they like to study, but you know, they're really not that creative and can only implement it in a certain kind of way, if at all. Anything else is just for the love of studying something they hate or something. Oh no, yeah. I'm trailing off. I've been going deep in a certain kind of way, and I'm trying to save that for the next one. You know, I'm just hitting points right now. I just want to hit my points. Do. So I guess one strong point of the human element is evil exists. A large deterrent to evil is to acknowledge it, that it does exist, and that it may be afoot around you or in you. And I guess I have to describe, that makes me want to describe evil now, because if I'm gonna use the past thought frame that I was using to break things up, then evil is one side of a coin. So whether a thing would be evil or not would depend entirely on the application. And the application of what? Consciousness? Yes, the nature in which you engage with consciousness itself. So before, it had to do with the acknowledgement
whether or not a thing was acknowledged or appropriately used. It was more about it being appropriate and acknowledged. Confident, arrogant. And then this one is more application centered. That would have to be it. Yeah, so the application of what? Consciousness. So it's still consciousness, but it's the application.
And my current framing of that, I am not so confident in. I am confident that in the future I will have a more concrete definition of evil. For now, that's what I can distill it down to for smart, diverse types in the people who haven't had the chance to eat that data yet, to understand on different levels. So evil exists. It may be afoot, around you, or in you. Whether a thing or not is entirely dependent. Whether a thing is evil or not is entirely dependent on the nature in which one engages with consciousness and applies the will from that nature. Such a thing falls on the spectrum. There is pure evil, there is pure good. There is both. There's both. There is the black and white, the ends of the extreme. And the ends of the extreme and the in between certainly play out a lot, for sure. There is pure evil. There is pure-hearted gold, and then there is that spectrum line where people do the waver. So sometimes it's either or, and sometimes it's both. And consciousness navigating the human element, how certain energies arise within us and play out. It helps us connect the pieces that we already have, whatever ones we're currently carrying. It helps us confirm pieces we thought we were true, and sometimes it helps us throw away ones that were proven not to be so solid. So nature's purification process is always at work, and it's up to us whether we decide we want to act in a way to where we're being purified, in a way to where we're being removed actually as a species. It's not necessary to be on that side. And nature is very accurate. Science comes down to a T. So though some things repeat, it's kind of like Super Saiyan, things only get stronger. So nature's accuracy with defending itself and communicating with the things that would defend it would only become stronger and more potent. Where we at? We at 24? Alright. made some good points. Definitely remember the first one. If my plan that comes in phases works out as it has been, there will come a point to where this video reaches specific kinds of people, and those people will be the type to not be so privy do I want to dive deep? Do I want to use details? Because I'm thinking about the human element as in its entirety with all its videos as one. I've said a lot. Nah. Yeah, I made some pretty good points. Pretty good at doing this on the spot too. Pretty good. And that is where confidence comes in. This is a demonstration of my confidence. I've also used my confidence to manifest with videos. I said I would do certain things at a particular point, and I didn't come back until certain things were done, and I did it. Shut out the world. Nobody else's goals matter if they're not relevant to the ones that I know serve my domain. And I know my domain well because I'm well acknowledged my competence in things that I'm competent in. And I'm always checking for arrogance, always tinkering for delusion, so I know that I'm acting from a place of accuracy. What else am I doing? If I'm not acting accurately, what am I doing? If I'm convincing myself that it's okay to not act accurately, and I'm constantly unhappy with the results of my life, what am I doing? Wasting my life? Not I. Not me. Not me. No, not me. Nope. About to go upstairs and drink some tea or something. This is the human element. Don't fall prey to the Tesla effect. There's plenty of people out here with good hearts who can feel what other people need. Those kind of neat people definitely need to balance it out. Have some standards. Not everybody deserves that grace. You wind up using your genius to serve something you didn't want it to serve. Don't do that. Better off doing your own thing.